A common objection to ethical subjectivism is that it can't account for moral progress. If there are no objective facts about what's right and wrong, then we can't say it was an improvement for us to abolish slavery. Ditto for the legalization of same sex marriage. Since on subjectivism there are no stance independent moral facts, we can't say that the moral views of society have actually gotten better over time. Instead, we're relegated to simply saying that people's attitudes have changed over time. But this is clearly implausible. There has been moral progress. The fact that Germany is no longer run by Nazis is a good thing. Germany has massively morally improved since the days of Adolf Hitler. There you go. Subjectivism debunked. Moral realism proven. Now, the thing about this objection, that there can't be moral progress under subjectivism, is that it only works if you just bake into the notion of progress that it must be stance independent. But why would we accept such a conception of progress? There are many other normative domains which are not objective, yet we can still clearly make progress in. Say I'm a aspiring painter. Whether painting is good or bad is subjective. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Yet we can still meaningfully say that I've made progress, that I've become better at painting. Progress can similarly be conceptualized as relative to some sort of goal. If I have the goal to reduce the amount of suffering in the world, then the abolition of slavery was, in fact, an instance of progress. Abolishing slavery is more conducive to my goal than retaining it. Now, I can already hear the objections coming through, but what if someone's goal is to keep black people in chains? Then you'd have to say that society has morally regressed relative to their goals. Yeah, I just don't see the problem with this. This would just amount to saying that abolishing slavery isn't conducive to the goal of retaining slavery, that slave owners disapprove of abolishing slavery. But obviously, that's true. No one would dispute that. If the idea is supposed to be that we need to be able to say that we've made progress in some non relative way, independent of anyone's goals, I just don't see the need for that, nor do I even know what that would really mean. My conception of normativity just has relativity and subjectivity built into it. There are some alternative conceptions of normativity that I can understand. For example, a naturalist that takes moral statements to be reducible to facts about hedonic utility. On this view, saying that abolishing slavery constitutes moral progress would just be equivalent to saying that abolishing slavery increases hedonic utility. Understood this way, moral statements are neither relative nor stance dependent. This is a conception of normativity I can understand, but what I don't understand are non naturalist conceptions of normativity. On these conceptions of normativity, moral statements are both stance independent and irreducible, meaning they can't be boiled down to descriptive claims like they can on the naturalist and subjectivist views. I don't really see any reason to abandon subjectivism for these other views, especially ones that don't even seem coherent, like non naturalism. It just seems obvious to me that whether something constitutes moral progress is relative. Like I said, my notion of normativity just has this built into it. I think the worry people have with subjectivism is that it unduly implies some sort of tolerance for other moral views. If we can't say the abolition of slavery is an objective instance of moral progress, then who are we to impose our moral views on the slave owners? I have no idea why people think like this. Why would something need to be objectively wrong in order for us to condemn it or take action to stop it? What does it even mean for something to be objectively wrong? It just seems like a category error. The notion that subjectivism entails tolerance is a confused one. On subjectivism, moral statements can only be true or false relative to a specified evaluative standard. That we should be tolerant is itself a normative judgment. It can only be true or false relative to a specified normative standard. If I disapprove of being tolerant, it's false relative to my moral standards that we should be tolerant. Subjectivism isn't a normative view. It doesn't make moral demands of us. Well, I don't really have anything else to say, so I guess that's the end of the video. Remember, folks, torturing babies is not objectively wrong. Have a great day.